Hello, one and all. This is WellArmedWithTacos, and welcome back to Let's Play Neverwinter Nights, the main campaign. When we last left off, I had discovered why it was changing the camera at the start of every other recording. This is because somewhere in the controls, the same button that I use to move the camera is the same button. Oh, I was right there the first time. The same button that it uses to, that it uses to move things around. So let me just change that to that. And we should stop having that issue. And something else, there have been more developments other than just figuring out what that is. I have come down with a terrible, I was going to say a terrible flu, and then I stopped myself because flu is incorrect. Sorry, a terrible stomach virus. I am recovering from it as we speak. I'm certainly a lot better today than I was yesterday. I'm glad I don't have to record today. But the entire reason I bring this up is because I am not 100% myself. And I thought for a long time about whether or not I was going to record this game in particular today. This is next on the list, but I thought I might skip it just because the dialogue would be too rough on me. But I've decided just to bite the bullet and get this done so I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the week. As much as I do like this game, there are certain parts of this Let's Play I'm dreading, like all the dialogue. But we'll get through it, and once we get out into the wilderness and start exploring dungeons and all this stuff, we won't have to worry about it as much. So, for now, let's speak to Sharwin and to see what kind of services she has to offer me.
Who's this? Some poor soul straggling in off the diseased streets? Are you here to join our ranks and beg for an employer? Or are you actually here to hire someone?
The latter? Who are you? My name is Sharwin, and I call this city my home. I seek adventure and excitement. If you seek the same, you'd be smart to hire me to accompany you. I'm going to have to do a lot of dialogue as we get through these characters here. This is why I warned you, I'm not 100% myself, and even 100%, the 100% version of myself couldn't handle the dialogue. So we're in for a rough time. Let me see. What do I want to say? What skills do you have? That is actually a good mission. A good question. I was reading the word mission there. A good question. What skills do you have? I am a caster of bardic magic, a master of all skills, and a teller of the oldest legends. And with or without your help, I intend to achieve my own fame in time. In time. Period. There's a period there. Periods are important. One day, bards will sing their songs about me. I suppose such talk make me seem arrogant to you, my lord? Ooh, she's already calling me my lord. If so, I don't particularly care. I have known the path I was on for a long time. I left behind a life of riches to live the life of a bard. Not really looking for a bard. I don't feel like talking. Goodbye. Have I scared you off already? Oh well, do come back once you've grown a backbone. Yeah, not really looking for your services. Something else that has occurred between the last week of recording and this one. I've discovered that the strange voice that I've been hearing, that I don't think you all can hear, but the strange voice I've been hearing is my headset. It's not anything to do with Dungeons & Dreadmore like I originally thought it was. It's entirely my headset. I don't know why I go through headsets seemingly pretty often now these days, but I might need to think about getting a new one. Once again, let us talk to Grimnaw. See what he has to offer.
I know you. You were at the academy during the slaughter of the students. You were there when the assassins came.
You sound like a friendly fellow already. Who are you, and how do you know about the academy? I am Grimnaw, a monk of the Order of the Long Death. The grisly account of the academy is no great secret, not to those who seek such things out. Tell me, as you stood amongst the blood-soaked corpses of your fellow students, did you gaze upon the face of death? Did you look into his cold eyes? I like how the H is continuously capitalized. And feel his icy touch upon your soul? Let's see. You seem a bit creepy, Grimnaw. Many fine members of my order unsettling, for we embrace death in all its incarnation. Yet in times like these, my skills are in great demand. I'm going to be going. I assume he's of an evil alignment. Don't know for sure. I can examine him here. That won't tell me anything. Neutral as in alignment, or neutral as in like his attitude towards me. Let me try over here. Let me try somebody else. You! What's your? No, I think they're all going to show up as that. Come across him by sheer happenstance. Krax is someone we can talk to, so let us speak to him.
Hail to ye!
What do you want? Come on, don't interrupt a trade of blades, Merc, without good reason. I can ask some questions. Apparently he's not someone that we can actually recruit, which explains why he's challenging and why most of these other people aren't. There is a merchant there. Might be worth talking to. Let's go over here. Was there anyone in this room? No, there was not. I mean, I could loot their stuff. I probably should. I mean, I probably shouldn't, but I will anyways. Again, I'm pretty sure the game will warn me when I'm stealing. Right now, let's see if the merchant has anything we want. Oh, I said yes! Let me see your wares! Show them to me! Unfavorable. I already don't like you. That's fair. You already don't like me. Nymph Cloak, Cloak of Protection. I think I already have a Cloak of Protection. No, I have a Protection versus Evil. Protection is just better, but it's also expensive. And I'm still broke by quite a vast margin, so not going to be doing anything with you. But we will talk to Bodynock Glinkle. I think that's his name, but the text is very small for me.
Hello there. You don't have the look of one of those Neverwinter soldiers about you. Neither do you show any evidence of having contracted the plague.
Okay. But you have a certain bearing about you that distinguishes you from the ordinary citizen. Based on my observations, I venture the hypothesis that you are an adventurer. You are right, I am an adventurer. Who are you? I am Bodynock Glinkle, a gnome sorcerer. Ooh, arcane caster. From the island of Lantan, who has only recently arrived here in Neverwinter. I will bear that in mind. So far our options are FaceTime Warrior, who's an option. Bard, not really an option. Probably Evil? If he wasn't evil, a monk is a good idea. Sorcerer is also a good idea. But there's also a really good idea in here, because I can already speculate what this person's class is based off their current equipment, and to be honest, this person's probably going to be really, really, really useful. But let's talk to them before we make any final decisions.
Please now, I already told you that I didn't mean to step on your cat. It ran right in front. Oh, you're not that other one.
Okay. Oh goodness, how embarrassing. Why does this always happen to me? Who are you? Before I tell you anything about me, I would like to ask you a question. Alright, go ahead. You're not one of those dirty, underhanding, conniving thief types. No, I'm not. I've had nothing but problems with irritating, despisable thieves ever since I left. That's not important right now. Let me introduce myself. I could interrupt, but I'll just say okay. My name is Linu. I'm not going to say that. A devout priest. I'm not going to say that either. Moonbow. I can say that. I seek to continue my adventures by hiring myself out as a healer. That's what I thought this person was going to be. A cleric. I am much more apt to take the cleric with me than the standard fighter. A cleric is useful. A cleric has healing magic. A cleric is also a frontline edition, or a frontline fighter in this edition. Not a frontline edition fighter, a frontline fighter in this edition. I have to specify because some editions of D&D clerics are not frontline fighters. In 3.5 and 3.0, they definitely are. They wear heavy armor and get up there and get to combat. So she fills pretty much all the roles that I need. The only problem is I won't have an arcane caster. So thinking about body knock is also an option, but it's probably a good idea that I have a tank. Probably just a good idea. So, if I think I'm going to go with the cleric, and I think I am going to go with the cleric, I should ask some questions of the cleric. I should actually delve into the actual conversation with this character. Let us do so. Why are you here, rather than helping the plague victims? I came to this city believing I could stem the tide of this plague with the powers of... I'm not going to say that word. Alas, it defied... yes, I said that correctly. Defied my every attempt to find a cure. Again, text is very small for me in this resolution. I worked hard, long, hard hours in the Temple of Tyr, trying to alleviate the pain of the sick. Finally, after working through several days and nights, I was exhausted. When I tried to stand, I fainted. And then what happened? I fell over and bumped into the glass statue of the symbol of Tyr. One of the balance plates flew across the room and smashed particularly right above the head of the high priest. The crash was so shocking that the priest sat down right on top of a rather large shattered glass. I'm sure he healed up just fine once they stripped him and pulled it out. I was unhurt, but the other priests didn't seem too concerned about that at the time. They asked me if I could find someone else to help the wounded, as if it was my fault. So, we have a clumsy cleric who apparently throws plates and steps on cats. I was going to say clats. I don't know what a clat is. I am not myself today. That was what the warning about this video was about. Okay. Just what I need. A cleric that's tripping and knocking things over. I'll be nice and say that could happen to anyone. You are kind to say that, but I suppose it didn't help that I had accidentally lit the altar on fire the previous day. I might have to take this person with me just for comedic relief. I have to point out, are you really that clumsy? I'm not that clumsy. I was just tired. My troubles don't come from a lack of dexterity, so much as poor timing. Don't worry, I'm good in a fight and an excellent healer. Each day, I have been assisting the victims of the plague in the slums of the Black Lake District, where they lie on the street, ignored by the residents and guards alike. Then I will say, why are you here? Well, not anymore. The last time I visited was a couple of days ago. I was attempting to help a sick old woman off the street when I was set upon by several thugs. They attacked you while you were helping plague victims? People are terribly discouraged because they figure they're going to catch them with death, so they aren't overly concerned with morals. In their desperation, they turn to theft, or worse. I want to go back and help, but what can I do? I think that if I could earn some more experience and maybe some gold, I might be able to make a difference. It is a tough call. The game will provide us with plenty of healing necessary. We will have potions, bandages, all that kind of stuff we need to get by. However, those are temporary. Spells are not. Also, she has access to buffing spells. I myself will very, very later on have access to divinity spells, but it's not very good. And it's also no reason why I couldn't take different spells from her. Maybe offensive spells to her. Excuse me. Sorry. Hard to breathe there. Her defensive spells. And, again, she fills a frontline fighter role that I am desperately missing with my character. Me in the back, her in the front. I think we are definitely going to go with the cleric. Plus, I think she might be a good comedic relief. I'm feeling a little pressured right now because I feel like probably most people end up taking the cleric, which is why she might have the most character development so far. I mean, she has the most outward development. You're forced to hear some of her backstory before you can even talk to her about hiring her. These are the characters that are not like that. I suspect a lot of people end up going with the cleric just because a cleric is useful to have around. People like healers. Alright. I am looking for a good healer to help me in my mission. I want to trust you and I need the work, but I really don't care to be involved in any shitty deals. Perhaps you could tell me more about the mission. It is true that my mission is confidential. Would I lie? No, I don't think I would in this matter. I hope she'll accept this as a reasonable answer. I work for Lady Arabeth, and my mission is confidential. I can understand that. If you are working for Arabeth, then I am certain your mission must be of great importance. Arabeth has worked hard to combat this plague, so I am sure I can trust her instincts in this matter. I would love to work for you if we can agree on a fair price for my services. My goal in life is to get through with a minimum of pain, but sometimes one has to offer aim for simple survival. To achieve that, you will need an experienced healer. I promise you, I will do my best to keep you in excellent health. Only 200 gold pieces and you will gain the talent of a healer who can fight. I can try to persuade, but I will not. I can use a good healer. Here is 200 gold. Welcome aboard. You will not regret this. My skills are yours to command. Hooray! Why is she in detect mode? I will follow you and perform to the best of my abilities according to the orders that you have given me. Anytime you wish to issue new orders, you will only have to speak to me again. Please do not shout at the fourth wall like that. Right. So, here's what we have to do. I think she's in... I don't know if that worked. It must have, because she's following a lot closer now. Toggle spell casting.
All right, dear. I'm getting to it.
Did that turn it on or off? Hard to tell. Let's see. What else?
Hey
I need
there,
to talk to
dear.
her about her tactics.
What can I do for you?
Let's change tactics, certainly. Well, this is important. If I fail to open a locked door chest, do not assist me. Let's see. Heal me if I become seriously wounded. And stay close. And I want her in melee. And apparently I have like 0 control over her spells? Apparently I have 0 control over spells. I'm not sure how that works. She is neutral good, just like me. So we will get along fine in that regard. Her stats are okay. She wasn't lying when she said she had a decent dexterity. You can see her skills here. She has points in Taunt and Persuade. She's got a -8 move silently and parry because of her armor and her shield. A -8 in hide because of the same thing. What I really don't want her doing is blowing off her spells in combat. I do want somebody who's not afraid to get up close. Well, the good news is we have our companion, and we've talked to pretty much everyone that was in there. So we are one step closer. The game has thrown us an obvious bone that the direction it wants us to go is the Peninsula District. Also, you can read my journal here about the person that I've acquired. Note, if your henchman ever dies, a special recall spell will transport them back to the Temple of Tyr. You can use your Stone of Recall to turn to the temple and retrieve your fully healed henchman. Also, your henchman will always be 1 level lower than you, and will level up when you do. It is time we go to the Peninsula District, wherever that is, but that will have to wait for next video. Thank you all for watching. This is WellArmedWithTacos signing off, and when we come back, we have selected our companion. A melee fighter cleric will be very useful in this journey. I will see you all later. Take care and bye-bye.